Take a look at how destructive that explosive device was on the truck of Robert Barker early this morning. As you can see, there's glass all over the place. The inside has been basically blown apart. There's even pieces of plastic on the roof of the inside of the cab. But as we were shooting video for my story,
we noticed there's a knife laying in the side yard.
The knife was dug into the ground next to the home's air conditioner. Police say he walked out the front door and into the wooded area next to the Walmart and may have not have been seen again if it wasn't for the cameras that got a good look at him. With your typical snowball, all you need are two good hands and some wet packing snow, but with these snow rollers, there are several conditions that are needed. We were on scene just seconds after this incident happened here on Route 11 southbound. It's just about a half-mile south of the Tibbetts Wick exit. Behind me is an active crime scene. So we went in search of the problem and we followed the water to this culvert here off of Sharon Bedford Road. As you can see, this is where the backup begins. Vandals have struck this construction site at the Jefferson Elementary School here in Warren. As you can see, the windows busted out of this backhoe here. They've also cut the wiring inside the truck. Warren police were called to this home on Bingham Avenue Northwest just before 7:30 last night. 85-year-old Donita Bufano, who is wheelchair bound, heard a disturbance downstairs.
She contacted the police and was concerned about the welfare of her son. When the officers arrived in the house, they checked the house and located her son in the basement.
Police found 55-year-old Dominic Bufano dead from some sort of trauma. No one was at the home today when we showed up, but as we were shooting video for my story,
we noticed there's a knife laying in the side yard.
The knife was dug into the ground next to the home's air conditioner. I didn't touch it, but instead called police. Detectives arrived a few minutes later, retrieved the knife, and then logged it into evidence as part of the murder investigation.
They believe a weapon was used, but they're not sure, what the weapon was.
Investigators are awaiting an autopsy to determine how Bufano was killed and what he was killed with. In Warren, I'm Trumbull County Bureau Chief Jeff Levkulich, WKBN 27 First News. The Warren Family Mission and State Farm donated this trike to 11-year-old Jordan, a girl with special needs. The photos were shared all over Facebook. But so was this picture. It's a screen capture of her father's Facebook page, and it says, "For sale, Schwinn trike, 400 brand new, asking 150. The story spread like wildfire on social media and got our attention, calling out James Hillard. So we went looking for him. Hi, are you James?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm with WKBN. Hillard admits he was trying to sell the bike, but claims he did nothing wrong.
If I'm given something, it should be my discretion of what I want to do with it.
He says he's in the process of selling everything because he and the kids are moving away and can't take it with them.
Well, why would you take the bike if you knew you were just going to sell it?
Well, I told them that, and they said they insisted that we take it.
They insisted?
They insisted. They insisted that, they said we insist. And I was like, oh, okay. So.
A spokesperson for the Family Mission tells me that's absolutely not true. When they found out what Hilliard was doing, they asked for the bicycle back. They were even going to give him some money, but he had already given it away. The mission says because of this incident, people will have to sign a contract stating they will not sell the items. As for Hillard, he refutes reports of selling another bike he received from the Emmanuel Lutheran Church in Warren a couple weeks ago, even though a person at the church tells us Hillard did receive a bike. A check of court records shows Hillard is currently facing charges for crack cocaine possession, and just last month he was picked up on a domestic violence charge. Earlier this week, he filed a police report claiming his sister misused his credit card. In Warren, I'm Trumbull County Bureau Chief Jeff Levkulich, WKBN 27 First News. Heidi Salapata Powell has been the tax investigator for the city of Niles only a week. Shortly before her promotion, she pleaded guilty to stealing money from her former employer, this AT&T store on Elm Road.
She was a worker there, and some deposits came up missing, and she actually confessed to us that she took it.
Bezetta police charged her with felony theft on September 18th of last year.
A day after Powell was arrested for stealing money from the AT&T store, she got a job here at the Niles City Billing Department.
That's where she worked as a cashier handling taxpayer money. Mayor Ralph Infant says he was not aware of Powell's arrest when he hired her. He didn't know until she was indicted by a grand jury in October.
Well, we followed the contract and we had a hearing, and we placed her on unpaid leave.
Powell was on leave until her case wrapped up. She finally took a plea agreement which reduced the charge to a misdemeanor. Despite Powell admitting to taking the money, Infant says he never believed she should have been fired.
On a felony charge, I say yes, absolutely, and that's where we were waiting for the outcome of the court case.
Shortly after her case wrapped up, Powell, who is the daughter of the Niles City nurse, was reinstated. Then she applied for and just got her new job with a raise as the city tax investigator.
Is Heidi Powell here, the tax investigator?
She is.
Would you mind if I talk to her?
Powell never did come out of her office, but her boss, City Treasurer Bob Schwager, talked to us. He says Powell deserves a second chance.
She deserves a second chance, and she's worked hard, and she feels bad for what she did. She made a mistake.
Schwager says he knows how some people may react to Powell's hiring since former clerk Phyllis Wilson was indicted for stealing $72,000 from the city.
And there were some checks and balances that failed, and those processes have been, I guess, added to and improved. So I don't have any concern whatsoever.
Powell is on probation for the next 2 years. She has been ordered to repay the $1,300 she stole from AT&T. In Niles, I'm Trumbull County Bureau Chief Jeff Levkulich, WKBN 27 First News.
Sean, what were you trying to do with that kid?
27-year-old Sean Michael Miller had nothing to say as he was being led away in handcuffs by Pennsylvania State Police. Miller arrested less than 16 hours after he allegedly assaulted a boy in the bathroom of the Grove City Walmart. Several people we talked to are glad he was caught so quick.
We're relieved as a community. He really had no chance. He had everyone in Mercer County looking for him.
I was really upset because being local, it can happen to anybody.
Investigators say Miller grabbed the boy from behind and pulled him into the stall and shut the door. The 9-year-old began to scream and was finally able to break away. Miller then left the store. Police say he walked out the front door and into the wooded area next to the Walmart and may have not have been seen again if it wasn't for the cameras that got a good look at him.
Got his picture out there last night, and through that picture being out there overnight and social media picking up on it, we received numerous phone calls identifying who the actor was.
According to the affidavit, Miller told police the boy was being mouthy with him. He admitted to investigators that he intended on hitting the boy because he was angry with him. Police have this advice for parents.
Look, whether it's a Walmart or you're at the local fair or carnival or whatever, you want to have your kids in sight because you don't know who's lurking around.
Meanwhile, Miller is charged with unlawful restraint and simple assault and is being held in the Mercer County Jail. In Grove City, I'm Jeff Levkulich for WKBN 27 First News. For 32 years, Slugmasters has done business on Route 5, but since a culvert collapse yesterday shut down the road, business has sunk.
Well, there's nobody here today. We've had 2 customers all day so far. And being an anniversary, we should be very busy.
Down the road at the truck stop, the Country Cupboard restaurant, it is also slow for lunch hour.
They can't get from the turnpike down to here.
It's been very busy on 534 near the Rattlesnake Hill Sporting Goods store, and not in a good way.
It's a bad intersection. It's bad corners to begin with, and now they're trying to run semis through here, so we're getting a lot of yard damage and things like that.
Well, there are big signs saying that the road is closed, but everywhere else there seems to be mass confusion, just like this couple here trying to get to the other side. One after another, drivers were asking us for directions on how to get around. Yeah, you have to go back up this way, make a right on 534. When you see the Rattlesnake Sporting Goods store, make a right. It'll take you all the way back around to the other side. Truck driver Oliver Ott says it took him a while to figure it out.
I come up on the signs where the road was collapsed, and it wasn't really clearly marked which way to go to get out, get to Warren. So
we alerted ODOT to the driver's concerns. A spokesperson says they're working with the turnpike to alert truck drivers about the Route 5 closure. They're also making sure there is enough detour signs up. In Braceville, I'm Trumbull County Bureau Chief Jeff Levkulich, WKBN 27 First News. Town police are starting the new week trying to solve a horrible shooting on the city's east side that's left a little boy dead.
The Army Corps of Engineers asking people to use extra caution when hitting the water this summer.
Now, this comes after 2 incidents over the weekend, including a drowning at Mosquito Lake State Park.
Jeff knows all the words.
There he is. This guy sort of ziplined from the top
Right on down.
Right down to the valley.
It is
his career.
Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice.
In sports, Pittsburgh coach Mike Tomlin and the Steelers dealing with a number of hurt linebackers.
A family from Canfield concerned about a picture of their daughter floating around on Facebook.
Well, it's not the actual picture that bothers them. However, it's the message that's going along with it. Well, a new state-of-the-art breast care center is officially open at St. Elizabeth's Medical Center in Youngstown. Natalie Jovanovich is live outside of the new Joni Abdu Comprehensive Breast Care Center with more on how this will impact cancer care here in the Valley. Good afternoon, Natalie. Beginning today, those with outstanding criminal cases in the area will have a chance to make things right with the legal system. We begin with breaking news this noon out of Canfield, where police are searching for the person responsible for the murder of a local teacher. Our Jared Ricciuti live in Canfield with the very latest developments in this case.